most people come in and when they say, tell me about yourself, they simply focus on a summary of their resume. Well, in 1994, I started in project management and then I moved into sales and blah, blah. Meanwhile, the interviewer is not listening to you, thinking about questions, and certainly you've done nothing to captivate them and make them lean in and want to learn more and, most importantly, hire you. So instead, there is this perfect formula that's backed by science. Hey, Nicole, what do you get when a former corporate CEO and a do-gooding executive walk into a recording studio?
Well, Erin, nothing, because the two of us are usually on my couch or Zoom because wine.
You get a podcast created for Gen X women who are bought into the corporate world but fed up with the BS.
I know. It's how to thrive the 9 to 5 or 6 or 7.
It's career therapy. It's comedy. It's definitely full-on authenticity. Basically, we give you tangible strategies to rise in your career without compromising everything else.
Because work doesn't have to suck.
Hey there, it's Erin, and I just want to introduce something a little new we're going to start doing called micro motivators. And the truth be told is, I've been doing long form advice for a long time through this podcast, through Nicole, through our guests, through my 2 books. I also am constantly posting on LinkedIn, and obviously maybe not obviously, but I'm a keynote speaker. That's my main business model, and going out and motivating people through a 30-minute, 45-minute, 60-minute talk or a workshop, a 3-hour workshop, a 1-hour workshop, etc. But I've been doing more and more of these like micro hits, these mostly on YouTube, where I know, the attention span is so short and sometimes you don't have the time to consume a whole podcast and you just want a little something to propel you forward. So we're going to start bringing those to the podcast from time to time. I'm not sure how often because that's how we roll. We just do shit the way we want to do shit. And so I hope you enjoyed this first one. A lot of people have really resonated with it. I've shared it on YouTube. I've shared it on LinkedIn, and it's addressing a specific pain point, which is when you're interviewing and you have that dreaded, tell me about yourself question. It always comes first. It always feels like a big ocean. And I talk about how you can turn that from something that's so awkward to actually the very place that you could grab them at hello, you could grab them at your intro, that you could win the job right there. So enjoy this little 5-minute micro motivator. And if you like it, let us know. Write it to us at our email address, hello@beauthenticinc.com. Let us know. Let us know what topics. I have a bunch of crap that I talk about and feel passionate about, but we also want to know what's the thing you're struggling with, and how can either Nicole or I bring you an approach that maybe is a little bit fresh and new. So without further ado, enjoy this micro motivator. I am so excited to take the dreaded tell me about yourself question and get you excited about it, because I'm telling you, you can win the job with this one question, but only if you do it with authenticity. So here's the problem. Most people take that question. First of all, it's asked mostly because the interviewer is an idiot. Okay, maybe not an idiot, but most people interviewing probably just ran from another meeting and they have not properly prepared. And so what do? They lob you a question so that you can say something while they're thinking about what the heck they're going to ask next. It's lazy, and it's your biggest opportunity. Here's why. What I teach is most people come in and when they say, tell me about yourself, they simply focus on a summary of their resume. Well, in 1994, I started in project management and then I moved into sales and blah, blah. Meanwhile, the interviewer is not listening to you, thinking about questions, and certainly you've done nothing to captivate them and make them lean in and want to learn more and, most importantly, hire you. So instead, there is this perfect formula that's backed by science that says if you can smash together basically a humility moment, something that is a story about a time that you were less than perfect, and you smash it with your competence, a time when you really rocked things, and then what I add in is what's in it for you. You create something I call an intriguing intro. And here's why it works. First of all, the science says that people are more connected to people who are a little bit imperfect, right? It's the I'm rooting for you, or Basically, you're just like me, imperfect. But if you do that alone, then they're not going to think you're competent for the job. You can't just go in and be Mr. Jokester, Mr. Mess Up. If you smash that then together with something that shows that you're also kick ass, it's the perfect combination and it's unexpected. So immediately they're going to stop thinking about the next interview questions. They're going to stop thinking about the candidate from yesterday and they're going to start thinking about you. Let me give you a quick example. Don't get too caught up in the details, but I want you to see how this works. So if I were to have that question, I might say, well, what's important to understand is I first started in the actuarial field. And I usually make jokes about it, or, it was 1996, so I wasn't able to Google how cool is an actuary. And I was hired into Aetna's actuarial program. And over the next 3 years, I took 7 actuarial exams and I failed 7 actuarial exams. But here's what I learned. It was the first time that I learned since going to school all those years that simply studying harder, taking a test, working harder was not necessarily the formula for success. Now, I went on, I bobbed and weaved in different jobs I would say that I was highly unqualified to do, another little humility moment, and eventually became the CEO of a 1,000-person company, 9-figure company. And in just 3 years, we tripled earnings, employee engagement up 15%, and we turned around that company. And the reason I tell you this is that if you work with me, will you necessarily get the person that's always going to take the test best? No, but what I've learned, it's all about connection and trust, and you build that through authenticity. And that's been my formula for success in the past, and I believe it'll be the formula for success if you give me this job. Now, I have a bazillion versions of this. I've been doing it forever. It's easier for me. What I will tell you is in my keynotes and my workshops, if we have enough time, I love doing the intriguing intro exercise. What you do is simply write down a few humility moments that you can play with, and it's hilarious what people come up with. It doesn't have to be work related. Then you write down your big brag or two, and then I help you smash those together and show you how you can start playing and experimenting. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to start experimenting with this formula of smashing together, not a perfect story, but simply something that you were bad at, something you became good at, and think about what is the lesson in that and why does that matter to the person on the other side of the desk? That's how you answer that question. That's how you crush it. And that's how you get the job at Hello. Hey, it's Erin with a teeny request. If you have ever gotten any value from this podcast and you'd like us to stick around, plus you want it to continue to grow so we can kind of swindle bigger and more knowledgeable guests to join us and to keep providing you with tangible and inspiring actions you can take to achieve the career and life you deserve, could you please just take 1 minute to leave us a rating and a review? Those reviews go a long way in attracting guests to the show, and candidly, they really make Nicole and I's day. And we see you. We really do. So when you have the time and inspiration, we'd love to see a rating and review from you. Thank you.